Another 10 questions on your program lifecycle domain. This will help you in preparing for your PgMP exam. If you missed watching our previous questions, you can find the link of the playlist in this particular video description. Let's start with question number 101. Your program consists of 3 projects. After initiating the first component project, the project team conducted detailed cost analysis, cost estimation, that revealed a 20% variance from the initial budget. This variance has been approved by stakeholders. As the program manager, what should you do next? So we are in a situation where we are getting our revised cost estimate as the components are getting initiated, which is natural. During the early stage of your program lifecycle, you might have done estimation using historical data, using simulation, using risks, using some amount of constraints which are given by the organization. But as you start approaching the detailed estimation, you need to incorporate that. So this component is showing 20% change and stakeholders are okay with it. Let's see the option. Option A, adjust the variance by reallocating budget from the remaining 2 components project, as only one project has been initiated so far. It's possible, but there is a possibility in those 2 components project also I may end up getting the variance. So I have a situation, I have done a 1 level of planning for my program. I have an input coming in. I need to incorporate this input in my overall plan. Yeah, I need to revisit my program management plan rather than saying, okay, I will figure it out and I will probably use other 2 components to take care of this variance. Not a good idea. Option B, update the program budget by incorporating the new project cost estimates, assess the overall impact on program objectives, and communicate the updated budget to stakeholders. Looks good idea. So whenever we have a variances, we do corrective and preventive action, we need to involve the governance, and we need to integrate our project management plan. That kind of option I'm looking for. So option B is giving me all those indicators. Let's see other options. Option C, for a time being, continue using original program budget for reporting purpose and revise the program budget after completing detailed cost estimation from all components project to ensure a consolidated update. Now, many a time you may end up doing, but it's not a good program management. This is a lazy practice. It's not like, we still have 2 projects to start. So we will look into our overall program estimation of the budget later. Not a good idea. I need to incorporate this information right now only. It may have impacts on business case. It may have impacts on overall feasibility of the program. So I need to start incorporating it from now itself. Option D, document the variance in the program's risk register and continue with the existing budget while monitoring future cost adjustment for other projects. So actually, this variance has been approved. Yeah, there could be a risk because of this variance other places, but just documenting the risk and not incorporating the information I have in my program management plan is not a good idea. So that way, I can conclude that option B covers the most holistic approach given the question and the options. Yeah, that's the important thing for your any PMP, PGMP exam. The question should be seen along with options. So this particular question maps to your task number 26, which talks about update program plans by incorporating corrective actions to ensure program resources are employed effectively to meet program objective and program benefits. So this is a common thread. Whenever you have a situation, you do some adjustment because of it or anywhere you need to incorporate it to a program management plan or something which is connected to the program management plan if the word directly program management plan is not coming. Question number 102. Your program has strict process compliance requirements and you have developed a comprehensive quality management plan to address them. Okay. During program delivery, one of the stakeholder asks how you ensure that process compliance is adhered to in the ongoing projects. How would you respond? So this question is basically trying to understand that as a program manager, how much understanding I have related to quality management practices. If I have prepared a program level quality management plan, how do, as a program manager, I ensure this plan is really getting implemented at my components level. So in general, I will ensure the component level teams are taking care of my quality approaches, quality policies, and their quality management plan is made in line with the program level quality expectation. The process compliances are taken care, and I will conduct periodic reviews and audits to make sure these things are remaining in line throughout the program duration. So that is a general thing. Let's see options. Based on option, we will decide the answer. Option A, discuss the program quality management plan with your stakeholder and show them how well things are drafted. So not a bad idea. You can start with it. You can show that this is the great quality management plan I have prepared, and don't worry, remain confident about we meeting the quality objective. But if you can give some more concrete information rather than a plan, it would be a good idea. Let's see option B. Take the stakeholder to review one of the project process so they can see firsthand how quality processes are being implemented. Not a bad idea. You can do a walkthrough, you can do a sampling, and based off sampling, the stakeholder may get a confidence. But let's see. It's a good idea in general. You can do that, but you may want to have a more systematic approach which covers the whole program rather than just picking one sample. A stakeholder may also become suspicious about your selection of the sample as well. So let's see. Option C, share your quality audit process and the result of the recent quality audits conducted in the project. So that looks good. Yeah, it looks like that this is our quality audit process, because the question is basically focusing on a stakeholder asks, how do you ensure that process compliance is adhered? Yeah. So the question is not about what is your process compliance, what is your quality planning. The question is basically saying that do you really stick to it? Yeah. And how do I ensure? We ensure with the help of audits, audits and reviews. So option C looks great here. Option D, arrange a meeting with the project managers to brief stakeholder on how they are applying various quality assurance activity in the project. Yeah, it's a little unstructured process. You can definitely make the stakeholder visit the project team, make the project manager explain what they are doing. That's all good. But option C is something which systematically takes care of this problem, because we are talking about quality audit process. So this way I can go with the option C for this particular question. So this is matching to your task 21, which focuses on applying appropriate component of your program management plan and ensure that you provide appropriate auditing and we remain adhering to the program management plan components, which help us in achieving the strategic benefits. The overall objective of program management planning is achieving the strategic objectives. Question number 103. During program execution, a component project experiences unexpected delays, resulting in additional cost. So you have a situation which is also impacting schedule, which is also impacting cost. The cost overrun is significant and cannot be covered by the allocated contingency reserves. Okay, so my intervention will be needed. Governance intervention will be also needed, most likely. As a program manager, how should you address this situation? So in a way, I need to do corrective actions. I need to make sure that this thing get analyzed. I probably need to ask for more money, probably. But before that, I need to do some homework. So if I get a question option which talks about doing a homework, I will probably give that option a little more serious attention so that we can find out what best we should do in this situation. If I don't find that, then I will focus on incorporating the current delays and current cost overrun in my program management plan. So these are the two possible things I'm looking in the question number 103 options. Let's see. Option A, request additional funding from the governance board and provide a detailed justification for the variance, including the updated cost forecast and impact assessment. Not a bad idea. So if I acknowledge that this is the reality and I need to make a case without doing further analysis, I can go with that. Yeah. If I get an option which talks about let me do a little bit more analysis, I will go with it. Else option A looks good. As of now, it's a candidate option. Option B, reduce the scope of the component to minimize the cost overrun impact while ensuring critical deliverables are met. Now, In a way, this option makes me think, yeah, can I do something else than just going to the management and asking for more money? Because the idea of program is focus on benefits, not just ensuring all the scope and all the deliverables getting produced as per the plan of the given component. So that way, option A, which is a good option, provided if we don't get a better one, but may you already start sensing that I could do some what if analysis, yeah, before I just go for asking for more money. Option C, conduct a cost benefit analysis for completing the component within the revised cost estimates. Look good, yeah. Explore alternatives and submit the change request to the governance board based on the analysis. So in a way, C and A are pretty much close. The only thing is C is saying, I will not just take this condition and go as it is to the go through the management. I will probably do some more research and find out should we really do it. And based on that, I will submit my proposal. So as of now, C looks great, better than A. Option D, analyze the performance of other projects with the program and assess whether funds can be reallocated from the less impacted area to cover the cost overrun. So I would say B and D, even D is a good idea, may get incorporated when I'm doing C because I'm conducting cost benefit analysis. I'm looking for what are the alternatives available. Yeah. So a possible alternative could be reduce in cost, another reduce in scope, another alternative could be readjustment from another project to another. Those all are possible, but this can be included in our option number C. So this way I can go with this particular choice in question number 103. This particular question is mapped to analyzing variance and trend, yeah, overall with the cost, quality, and risk component, and forecasting the future probably trends as well, and taking corrective actions and incorporating. There is another task 26 which talks about incorporating those corrective actions into your program management plan. So task 25, 26 usually comes in action whenever you have undesired things, issues, variances happening in your program. Question number 104. You are managing a program from a client for a client aimed at implementing a complex IT infrastructure upgrade. As part of the program, you have identified and proposed a project manager to lead one of the critical component projects. However, the client has raised concern about the qualification of the proposed project manager. As the program manager, how would you handle this situation? So it is little bit connected to your HR functions, human resource functions, onboarding people, allocating them the right role, and ensuring they help you in supporting the overall program delivery. So that thing is coming here. And you have a situation that your project manager selection is not liked by your client. So how would you proceed here? Option A, work with the client to understand their concern. Good idea. Collaboratively identify the qualification and skills they expect in the project manager. Not a bad idea. You should have done it before as well. And use this as a foundation for the selection. Yeah, if you have not done it, it's a good corrective action. You should do it. And then probably you need to update your resource management plan accordingly if that is not done. Yeah, so looks good. Option B, explain to the client that proposed project manager was selected based on their alignment with the program objective and request their approval to proceed. So you push for your choice. You should not. Yeah? You need to respect somebody's opinion, and you can probably have a conversation to agree to some agreement, but not push for your choice. Option C, proposed alternative candidate from your shortlist and allow the client to choose the most suitable project manager. Possible, you can do, but what is the clarity that you got what client really want? Yeah. So you are saying I have another one. Maybe the another one is also not suitable. So the option is saying, let's have an agreement what kind of people you need, what kind of qualification you need, and then based on that, I will go for it. Looks like you are not happy with the qualification ideas. Option D, reassure the client that the selected project manager will closely monitored, will be closely monitored and offer additional training to address any perceived gap in their qualification. So D is saying, I will take care of it. You just select this guy, and whatever gaps are coming, I will do it. So B and D both are focusing, I stick to my choice and try to convince it by way of saying this is a good guy, or I will support this person whenever the training needs are happening. C is saying whatever the client is saying, guys, let's give him someone else. Yeah. So say we don't give up so fast and we don't push for our agenda. We remain open. That's a generic leadership style. I'm listening. I'm open to the idea. Let's have a common understanding, create a common foundation of our relationship or our agreement, have a expectation matching, and then we will proceed this problem again. Then we approach this particular issue again. Yeah, that's the idea. So that way, option A looks good, because I need to work with having expectation agreed first before I go for detailed selection. So this particular question maps to two tasks. It maps to the task number 15 of your program lifecycle, where you talk about your human resource function, about various project and program related roles. Not specifically talking about hiring the project manager though, but it is something taking care of overall human resource. And it also matches with building relationship with these stakeholders, because your client is an important, very powerful stakeholder for your program in a client driven program context. So you need to build a good relationship, expect good, you should set up the right expectation with each other. So that way it also map to the task 7 of stakeholder engagement program performance domain. Question number 105. You are managing a program with multiple component projects, each led by a separate project team. Obviously, during a program review meeting, you discover that the project teams are using different standards and methodology for their work. As the program manager, how should you address this situation? So we have a clear task in a governance which focuses on unified standards. Yeah, so we need to have a standards which are unified, so they make our program level decision making easy. That's there. So the thing is, they are using different standard and methodology at their work. So standard should be more consistent. Methodology could be different also. Yeah, some may use say hybrid, some may use agile, some may use predictive lifecycle. When you are preparing your program management PgMP application, when you describe the projects, you end up selecting life cycles, and many a time inside your program, when you are adding these projects, you may end up selecting different life cycles. So life cycle methodologies could be different, but there has to be some unified standards as well. So I need to look for something which focuses on unified standard, but may also give some adaptation for a case-to-case basis related to methodology or way of working part. That kind of option I'm looking for. Yeah, but unification of the standard is a clear-cut task, which I need to focus on. Yeah. So option A, allow the project team to continue using their preferred standards as long as they deliver their output on time and meet the program quality expectation. Now, some of you may think, why should I care, provided I am getting my delivery? In general, as a PgMP program management standard, as your PgMP exam content outline, you care. Yeah, it's a part of your governance. You should have consistency because it is the decision-making process. So you can't just let people do whatever they want, even if they are producing the result. Yeah. Option B, escalate the issue to the program governance board or a PMO to decide whether to enforce a unified standard across all component projects. You need to enforce unified standard. You need to have some mechanism of unification with some flexibility related to methodology or approach part. Yeah, that is there. So there is nothing, no confusion about it. It's a clear task. So I don't have to do any escalation here. Option C, mandate the immediate adoption of a single program-wide standard for all component projects to ensure consistency and reduce coordination issues. Not a bad idea. Little heavy word, mandate and immediate. Yeah, that's the little heavy word. But if I don't get anything, I will go with C. Let's see. Option D, facilitate a meeting within the program project managers to discuss the impact of using different standards and collaboratively identify areas where alignment is necessary for program success. So the option D takes care of the negative words which are there in C, a mandate and immediate. It's more collaborative in nature. And it is also probably adapting that, yeah, somebody may follow agile, somebody may follow predictive lifecycle, but there has to be a unified standard to support the overall decision-making process. So that way, option D looks great. We can go with it without much confusion. This question is linked to your task number 17, establish consistency by deploying governance framework, uniform standards, resource, infrastructure, tools, processes to enable informed program decision making. So you need to have a unification, but we are not saying everybody has to follow exactly the same, but they can have different method, but there has to be a good amount of unification. Question number 106. During the execution of your program, a key stakeholder strongly advocate for selecting a specific vendor for a critical component of the program. As the program manager, how would you handle this situation? So this is little bit on ethics. Yeah, you may get some questions in your PGMP exam for ethics as well, where you see that someone may have conflict of interest. The question is not saying that stakeholder has some relationship with it, but the stakeholder is focusing on advocating that this vendor has to be selected. That's the thing. So we need to be careful. At least in the exam, we need to remain transparent. You need to follow your program management plan. You don't have to deviate from it. And if you want to deviate from your program management plan, you need to take approval from your appropriate authority. It's like a change. Yeah. So your governance group should get involved if you want to deviate. Else you just follow your program management plan. So stakeholder pushing for something, yeah, we need to do something about it. Option A, comply with the stakeholders' request to maintain their support for the program as long as vendor meets the minimum qualification. So it is saying, provided the vendor takes care of minimum threshold, I will just go for it because the stakeholder is important for us. So in general, whenever the ethic question is coming, whenever you see there is a push for a particular choice, definitely agreeing to that choice is going to be a wrong option. Yeah, most likely. So that's the option A is definitely not the right option. Option B, initiate a formal evaluation process to assess all potential vendors objectively and document the decision-making process for transparency. That looks like a decent option. I should be following it as a part of my program management plan. I should be evaluating it as the criteria defined in my program management plan, and I need to keep the process transparent. Looks great. Yeah. Option B. Option C, escalate the issue to the governance board and let them make the final decision to avoid personal conflict with the stakeholders. If the question indicates that you have to deviate and there is no possibility of you following something, then probably you escalate. But I already have an option B where I can handle it. Yeah, if I don't have an option B, probably I go with option C. Yeah. But another problem in option C is saying avoid personal conflict. I don't have to escalate to the governance group to avoid my conflict. If I have to escalate to them, it's a part of my escalation process. Yeah, it's not like I don't want to handle this. When I have a process, I will follow. When I have escalation process, I will follow. So option B as of now looks winner. Option D, discuss the stakeholders' preference with the procurement team and prioritize the recommended vendor as the stakeholder is a key influencer in the program. So definitely A and D are talking about agreeing to the stakeholder. Cut. They are definitely not there. We need to choose between B and C as a mindset. Yeah. Because when you are giving the exam, you may not have these kind of choices. You may have a different kind of choices. But our understanding is ethics. We follow. We do as per our agreement in our program management plan. We follow transparency. We don't agree on a conflict of interest. And we need to follow our processes accordingly. If things are beyond my control, I will go for escalation. So in this case, I go with option B because I can handle it. Overall, this is mapped to your task 21, which focuses on executing the program as per the program management plan. You will see many of these task 21 questions. So all your planning, quality, communication, resourcing, risk, scheduling, you need to follow program management plan. That something is a task 21. Yeah, wide one. Question number 107. You are managing a global program that includes team members from diverse culture backgrounds. During a program review meeting, you notice communication gap and misunderstanding among team members which are affecting collaboration and productivity. So multicultural team is a reality, multi-location team is a reality, multi-geographical team is a reality, virtual team is a reality. We should be ready for that. As a program manager, how would you address these cultural differences to foster a collaborative team environment? Cohesive team environment, collaborative team environment. So anyway, you have to take care of it. Even the question is a little bit more specific to ensure a good team environment. So as a program manager, I need to make sure that we have a trust and respect for each other's cultural diversity. We generally promote diversity. I need to make sure my team member learn about diversity and they appreciate diversity because diversity helps us in becoming more creative, makes us better in responding to upcoming risks, and handles the overall program objective in a better manner. So that's my basic belief. So with that, I need to approach this question and I'm saying, I need to make sure that with cultural diversity, people still can work well with each other. Option A, arrange cultural sensitivity training for the program team to build awareness and understand or understanding of different cultural norms and practices. Not a bad idea. I can definitely do it and update the program management plan accordingly. It's a if the question tells so, but as of now, question is just sticking to a particular action. So I can do it. If question says I will collaboratively figure it out what is the right thing to do and apply vertive analysis, then I can go to that also. But as of now, this is the nice looking idea. Let's see. Option B, develop a single communication style and enforce it across the team to ensure consistency and reduce misunderstanding. So second option is also action oriented. So if I have to take an action, action A is better. Since I'm not getting an option to analyze the problem, so I have to take an action. So action A looks better than B because single communication style is not going to work. I need to match with my stakeholders, with my team, communication style, communication approaches. But we need to reduce misunderstanding by way of creating understanding of different approaches and different cultural communication style, not unifying them. Option C, assign team lead based on cultural alignment to minimize potential conflict and improve team dynamics. Possible, but A is better understanding across the team. Why to create a bottleneck as a team leader? Option D, rely on team member to adapt and resolve communication issues independently as cultural differences are natural part of the global program. It is actually there. So you have a Tuckman ladder, you will have a team formation. Over a period of time, team will improve. That's there. But right now, you see the team is going through a storming stage because of different cultural thing. You need to do something about it. You need to speed up the process of they become better performing team. Since all options are action oriented, they are not one which is focusing on wide explorative idea. All are specific. I would say all options are narrowed, then I have to pick up the best one. So here the A1 is looking good because it is focusing on the problem first. Second, it is also focusing on incorporating the thing which can be adapted by everyone in the team, not specific to leaders or project managers alone. So that way I can go with option A. So this is mapping to your task 19, which is focusing on lead human resource function by training, coaching, mentoring. So you know that training, coaching, mentoring is something which you need to do. Recognize the team to improve engagement, achieve commitment to the program goals. So whenever you see the action-oriented options in your PgMP exam, if some of the actions are pretty much aligned to your ECO, exam content outline, you feel safe selecting them. Yes, each question depends upon the available choices. Sometimes if you want to do exploration before jumping to something, that's a better idea. But when you have to jump to an action, align your action as per the exam content outline. So this is a program manager action, which is also coming pretty clear here. You don't have to remember it. You will be able to find it out by seeing the options as well once you have a good understanding of program management mindset, which you should get it by watching these videos. Question number 108, you are managing a program that involves implementing a new enterprise resource planning system. As the program near completion, you are preparing for handover of the deliverables. Stakeholders have asked to clarity on the role of the transition plan and the sustainment plan in ensuring the long-term success of the program outcome. How would you differentiate between these plans? So this particular question is basically simply asking you, how can you explain transition plan and sustainment plan to the stakeholder? And do you know what they are? That's it. That's a definition kind of question only. The situation is just made up, but ultimately we need to just talk about the definition. So option A, the transition plan covers training and operational for the operation team, and the sustainment plan ensure continued communication with program stakeholder after the handover. So transition plan looked good, but continued communication for program stakeholder after the handover. So that seems to be little question mark. Option B, the transition plan focuses on transferring program outputs to the operational team or a support team in a way, while sustainment plan outline how the operational team will maintain and realize long-term benefits. That looks good. That's you understand. Option C, the transition plan defines the benefits realization matrix. Okay, while the sustainment plan ensures the program benefits are reviewed and updated periodically. That's not the goal of these two plans. Option B is anyway nicely summarizing it. The transition plan includes stakeholder engagement activities for program closure, while engagement sustainment plan ensures. So we know, I don't have to read it. We know that option B is clear cut, showing us the meaning of what is sustainment planning and what is transition plan. So you do see this transition plan, sustainment plan pretty frequently in your PGMP exam. I would say that at least 5 times you end up seeing as an option, sometimes wrong option also. So better to clear about the benefits management plan, benefits sustainment plan, benefits transition plan, how they help us in ensuring the benefits get continuously delivered or realized. Benefits get realized during and beyond the program life cycle duration. So this maps to task 13, which is expected to teach us about benefits management and mapping to the program life cycle. This also connects to the benefits management program performance domain. I am just mapping to a program life cycle in this particular case. Question number 109. You are managing a program and want to evaluate its financial performance. Which of the following set of matrices would be most suitable for assessing the financial performance of the program? So in a simple word, out of these below matrices, you need to pick up the one which helps you in measuring the financial performance. So you know the earned value management, the actual versus target cost variances, anything with to do with the cost and variance will be a good idea. Let's see. Option A, inflation, cost performance index, and number of changes in the baseline. You know, cost performance index looks okay, but other two no. Inflation is out of control. It's an environmental thing. It's not your financial performance. Option B, cost variance looks good. Project reserves. Yeah, maybe amount of reserves left is a good idea, but yeah, there reserve still makes sense. Market size is a condition. It could be increasing, it could be reducing. It's an environmental thing which you need to take care for your maybe benefits forecast. That's there, but it's not a financial performance of your program. Yeah, probably it's a bigger thing. So let's see if we get a better one. Else I need to see B again, probably, because it has at least two elements pretty much coming close. Monthly sales, risk exposure value, cost variances. Monthly sale is a program matrix, which is an outcome matrix, yes, but it is not about my the overall financial performance. Yeah, it is again a benefits matrix. Maybe monthly sales could be a good benefits matrix. Yeah, that's a possibility. So in a way, I can consider it, but risk exposure value is not something coming very clearly. Option D, contingency reserve utilization, good. Variance at completion. Yeah, so it's like a cost variance. It's good. Percentage of budget utilized. So percentage of budget utilized is something. Yeah, I can definitely talk about the financial performance metrics. So out of these, if I have to choose based on elimination, I can definitely go with option D. Sometimes you don't even understand the meaning of all these matrices when you see in the exam, but by doing elimination, you should be able to identify which matrix is good for your answer. So we need to find out something which shows how we are handling our finances, and these are pretty much coming clearly here. Risk exposure value in the option C was definitely out, so based on that I avoided C. In the B we had a market size, which is the situation. In A we had an inflation, which is also outside situation, so we can go with option number D. So this is all about developing the KPIs. Yeah, that's the thing which we have explored here in this particular question. Question number 110, the final question for this particular video. During program execution, you observe that first past yield matrix for a critical component project is consistently approaching lower threshold over the last 10 days. Now, when you see a question and you don't even recognize the matrix, you don't have to know exact details of it. You know that there is some matrix, looks like something to do with quality, and it is approaching the threshold from last 10 days. Approaching means not crossing it, it's near thing. So something bad is happening. That much is good to pick up for the exam. First past yield is more about how many percentage of the time, first time you test something and it passes. So first time right kind of stuff. So you check the component. If they are right, they pass. Yeah. If they don't pass in the first time, then you have a problem. So if you see that a good number of components are passing in the first pass, the high is a better, lower is not good. Yeah. So you see something is approaching the lower threshold from the last 10 days. So that's a little problem. A comparison of actual metrics to forecasted show a decreasing trend in the first pass yield rate, indicating potential quality issues. As a program manager, how would you address this situation? So in a simple word, it is just showing that there is a metric which is going towards a threshold, consistently near to the threshold, not breaching it, but it's been at 10 days. Now, if you are familiar with the term called control chart, you know that there are lower threshold, there is an upper threshold, and there is something called rule of 7 also. If something is approaching the threshold consistently for a longer duration, 7 consecutive occurrence, then also it is considered to be a point which need to be considered as a escalation point. You need to do something about it, even if it is not breaching the threshold, because it can breach the threshold at any point in time. So with that information in your mind, you understand that this is a matter which program manager has to look into. I can't just ignore it because it is touching something which is dangerous for my program. Option A, identify the risk of breaching the threshold for the first past yield matrix, raise it within the component project, and ask the project manager to address it. Not a bad idea. You can definitely do that. But this is something is already a issue. It's already a situation. Though it is not breaching it, but it is already showing a trend which is dangerous itself. So putting a risk and hoping things will get done is a possible thing if we don't get anything else. But if I can act on it, if we can do some corrective analysis, if we can do some root cause analysis and act on it, that would be better. Yeah. Option B, since the first pass yield has not yet breached the threshold, ask the project manager to make a note for the trend for future review. So definitely B is not as good as A. A is far better than it because you were doing something. B is just saying, it is not breaching, so why to worry? Let's make a project manager aware of it. Option C, conduct a root cause analysis to determine factor contributing to low first pass yield and implement corrective action in collaboration with the project team to reverse the trend. Great. Yeah, that looks good. It has an element that I'm acting upon it. It has an element I'm doing root cause analysis about it. It has an element I'm collaborating with the project team. And it has an element which is saying that let's do along with the project team. So implementation of corrective actions along with the project team. So it has all good idea. Option D, delegate the responsibility of analyzing the first pass yield matrix to the project manager and focus more on monitoring other program level KPIs. So you can't because it is approaching the control threshold consistently. So rule of 7 is getting applied. You need to do something about it. And this is the best approach which you can do. So don't worry if you see some weird matrices, just get into the essence of it. Yeah, even if you don't understand the meaning of the metric, you should be able to find out the right option. Task 25 is coming pretty active here. So you are analyzing the variance and trend for all the things and need to find out corrective actions or opportunity. So this is how we conclude this piece of our 10 questions. If you want to get more assistance for your PgMP exam preparation, connect with us. We do have mentoring program to speed up your PgMP certification journey.